Okay, do you still remember about the relational model that we discussed last week? Do you still remember what we call a column in relational model? What's the term that is used for the column?
Yes, madam.
I beg your pardon? Column. What's the term for column? Anyone?
Attribute, madam.
Okay, good. Attributes. How about row? Cepat. What we call row in the relational model?
Tuple.
Tuple. Tak apalah. Okay. Tuple. How about number of attributes? What we call it? The number of attributes.
Domain.
Yeah?
Domain.
Domain. The number of tuple.
Degree.
Degree. Okay, very good. Okay.
Cardinality.
Cardinality. Okay. The number of attribute degree, right? The number of attributes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so inshallah today Madam will continue with new topics in the DBMS, database management language, which is very important. Okay, which is data manipulation. Okay, data manipulation. Inshallah today we'll discuss on how to I think last week we have touched about how to create a table slightly. Okay, inshallah this week we will discuss detail on it and how to insert a data and how to retrieve the data in the database. Okay, we will learn how to create a data and then how to manipulate data. Okay. Okay, I'll share with you the slide. Okay, data manipulations using SQL. Okay, structured query language. Using a language, SQL language, so we can do a data manipulation in the database, DBMS lah, database management system. Okay, can you see my slide here?
Yes, madam.
Okay, Alhamdulillah, thank you. Yeah. So we will learn the purpose and the importance of the SQL and how to retrieve data from database using keywords or using the select. Select is the language lah. Select or use a compound where when there is a conditions when we want to retrieve data about, let's say, student, and then under student, what's the conditions that we want to set. The students from Selangor, for example, student in which program. Okay, we using where to select the conditions of the data that we want to retrieve. And the sort query result using order by, and use aggregate functions, and use data using a group data using group by and having. So these are the functions that is provided in the SQL. Okay, how about we will discuss about how to join tables together, okay, and perform set of operation if you have times. This one more advanced lah. And then how to update database using insert, update, and delete. So basically the SQL, the database language, should allow the user to create the database, okay, to create a database like a create function, create table function, and to do the relational structures, which we discussed the relational model kan we discussed last week. So we can use to connect among tables and to perform insertion, modification, deletions of data from the relations and to perform simple and complex queries, okay, for the data analysis. So perform tasks with minimal user effort. We just write the queries and then the system will automatically give us the data that we require. So the objective of the SQL, structured query language, it is structured lah. Okay, is SQL is a transform oriented language with two major components. So in SQL, there are DDL, the data defining language, data defining language, and we have a DML, data manipulation language, data define. First, we want to define the data using functions of create table, and we define the table name, we define the types of data, and using a DML, data manipulation language, where the next step, when the data is there, so we want to manipulate, we want to adjust somewhere, we want to add more data, we want to delete a certain row or certain attribute. So we call it as DML, data manipulation language. Okay. So until SQL 1996, SQL did not contain flow of control commands. There is no flow lah. We can execute it whenever we want. Okay. So this had to be implemented using a programming or job control language or interactively by the decisions of user. So we can retrieve any data without following the sequence. So SQL is relatively easy to learn. It is non-procedural. You specify what information require. Okay, so no need to follow the step. We just write the query. So free format. Okay, we just need to remember few functions lah. Okay, so so these are among the functions. Create tables. If you want to firstly create a table of staff, for example, so the function that we can use is create table function. Create table, name table, staff. So in bracket, so these are the attributes, staff number and the database, data type. So staff number, the data type is various character, 5 digit or 5 place or 5 apa nama dia, okay, so this one last name, the second attribute and third attribute. This is example lah. Okay, so these are the data types, various character and decimal number. Okay, if we want to include the data that have decimal number, for example for the salary, so we have to write the decimal 7 and 2 lah. Nanti kena follow the format. Okay. Okay, insert into staff values. So after we create table, then we want to enter the data. So we insert. We use a functions of insert into. Into what? Which table? This is table names. Okay. So insert into table names, values. Okay. Values, for example, SG16 is a staff number, the first attribute. And second one is last name, Brown, for example, last name. And third one is salary. Salary is 8,300. So should follow the sequence of the attribute that we have set in the beginning, the first step ni. Okay, so first create table and second one insert table. So after we insert the data into this table, then we can do the data manipulation lah, or we want to choose any data and we want to see. The third step is data analysis lah. So this is example. We select staff number, last name and salary. So when we select, actually we select the attribute, not select the table first. We have to select the attribute first. After that, we select from which table. Okay, from is table, from staff. Staff meaning that staff table lah. That table, that name is staff. So where, this is the condition that we want. Okay, where salary more than 10,000. Okay, so first we select the attribute, second the table, and the third one the situations or the conditions that we want from the data. Okay, so far you follow me? So far okay?
Yes, madam.
Okay. This is example. I want to show you in the tutorial. Okay, in this website, W3 School website. Okay, so what can SQL do? SQL can execute queries against a database. SQL can retrieve data from a database. SQL can insert records in a database, can update records, can delete, can create new database, can create new tables, create stored procedures, create views in database. These are among the advantages or the usage lah, the usefulness of the database. Okay, the database plus SQL. So SQL is a stand for structured query language. Okay, so we can access and manipulate the database using SQL. So it is a standard of the American National Standard Institute, ANSI, and the ISO, International Organization for Standardization. So ISO also using SQL, okay, for the database lah. Okay. Okay, using SQL in your website to build a website that shows data from a database, you will need RDBMS. Okay, for RDBMS is the Relational Database Management System. Relational Database Management System program. Okay, so these are the program lah. Okay, first we want to create a table. We have data. We have a huge data that is unstructured yet. We have a scattered, or we have data that coming to us. For example, we have a business, we have a customer, we have a product, we have a stock, we have a customer contact number, and we have a staff also. So how to structure this huge data? So first we create table. Okay, where is create table function? SQL database. So first we have to create the database before we analyze it. So without the structured database, we cannot perform the analysis lah. So these are the analysis, the upper one. And the lower, the here is SQL database. We want to create a database first. Okay, create database using the functions of create database. Okay. So create database, after that we want to create a table lah. Example. So write the SQL. Okay, this is exercise. Write the correct SQL statement to create a new database called testdb. Okay, so we use a function of create database. Testdb ni dah ada dah ni. Okay, follow the format. This is the format lah. We have to use uppercase. Okay, and then usually the name of table, name of database, we use a mixture. Okay, upper and lower, small letters and big letters. Okay, just copy and paste lah. Create database testdb. Ni. Correct. See, so this is to create database. Okay. Oh, second, after that, SQL drop, database. Okay, create table. Now dah ada database, we want to create table. We have a customer, we have a staff, we have a product, for example. Now we want to create a table of customer. Okay, so we use functions of create table. Okay, this is the format. Create table and table name. So in bracket. Okay. So the first attribute, second attribute and third attributes, or first column, second column and third column, and we have to define the data types that we want, okay, for this specific column or attributes. Okay. So please remember the function is create table function. So this is example. Create table person, in bracket, person ID, integer. Last name, various character. First name, various character. Address, various character. City, various character. And we have to close the bracket. Okay, and then put a semicolon here. Yeah. So we try. Create table person. This one already here. We just run. Kat sini. You have made changes to the database result. Okay, create table person. Okay, now we want to create table customer. In bracket. So customer ID. Data type integer. Comma. Okay, and then last name, first name. Address we want to apa nama dia? We want to replace with customer. What is the other informations of the customer? Give me one. Give me one example. Cepat. I got school.
Age.
Yeah? Age. Age, yeah. Age, maybe we can various age. Okay, I receive message. Number phone. Okay. Phone number. Phone number. Maybe we can use the data type is number. Number maybe 50 lah. Yes. What else? age, and age. Phone number. So if you are not sure the data type here, you can go to SQL, the website here. Okay, and then you find data types here. Ni data type ni, SQL data types. Okay, so below here is data type, string data types. String means that apa nama dia? String is it is free. It is free or whatever lah, whatever it is, macam it is more convenience. It is mixture of text. Okay, numeric data types. This one numeric data types. A medium, integer, single. Okay, bit size, a bit value, the number of bits per value. So tiny integer, a very small integer. Sign range from negative, bool, boolean equal to bool. 0 is considered as false. Non-zero values are considered as true. Tak nak lah. Okay, kita biasanya guna yang ni. Integer, int ni, size. Macam float. A floating, float ni. A floating point number. Kalau ada point, a number. Okay, so decimal, double. SQL Server data types. Maximum. Sama je macam. Okay. Allows whole numbers between this one. So we use int, integer. int int integer. So age int juga. Tu je lah kan. Okay. Okay, so after we create this, ini pun ada city, variable character, kita tak nak city. So make sure close bracket and then double colon. Okay, run SQL. Okay, if there is error, the system will give a message. Error 1, could not prepare statement 1 near. Error 1. Okay. Ni customer ID. Integer. And this one dah ada database ni. Create table customer ID, integer, last name. Edit script keep on script to see the result. This one I don't know why. Maybe because they already have table. They actually, this tutorial have provided us the database. Okay. Wait, I try to create, not create table customer, create table student, for example lah. Tak boleh juga create table. This one error lah. Try and error je. Error 1 could not prepare statement. Kat mana yang salahnya ni? Sekejap. Saya tadi macam ni. Saya tak tahu kenapa. Okay. So, restore the database. Okay. Tak boleh dah. Okay, tak apa. Once we create a table, it will exist like this, but it is still empty lah before we add data. Okay, it will just appear like, okay, customer ID, customer name, contact number, address, city and postal code and country. Okay, without this data. Tapi using the format like this lah. I don't know why I can't run. Okay, so after create a table, korang dah ada dah table empty table. Okay, after create table, drop table. If you want, okay, drop table. If you want to delete table, okay, so we use a functions of drop table. Okay, so the drop table statement is used to drop an existing table in a database. So drop table and then table name. Which table that we want to delete? Okay, we use this function, drop table. So deleting a table will result in a loss of complete information stored in the table. Semua, all the informations will be deleted. Okay, drop table shippers for example. Okay, so dia akan drop lah macam tu. Very simple lah. Okay, so after that, author table. Okay, so author table is used to add, delete or modify columns in an existing table, author table. Okay, we want to modify attributes or columns, or we want to delete, we want to add, we use author table. Okay, so write author table and table name. Okay, and then if you want to add column, we write add column name and data type. Okay, if let's say the table already there, kan, macam ni ada customer table kat sini. Okay, so we want to add more attributes or more columns, one columns. So we write author table and table name. So we add apa? Add email, the names of the columns tu. And then this is the data type. Okay, so we run. We run lah. Dia ada duplicate sebab dah ada kat sini kan. So tengok ada tak email address ni? So ada email address. Okay. Okay, kalau author table customer, we add not email, we add phone number dah tak ni. Phone number. Okay, so we add phone number column. We go to the customer table. Ni ada phone number. See? Ada phone. Okay, kalau let's say how to delete. So if you want to drop or delete any column, okay, we use a functions of drop column. So which column you want to drop? Email, for example. Okay, so we try here. Tengok, look at the customer table. We have email and phone number. Okay, so here Author table. Author table what? Table customer kan? Author table customer. Okay. So drop. Drop apa? Email. Macam ni kan? Medium ni. Okay. Drop email macam tu kan? Sekejap ni. Drop column. Medium yang salah ni. Okay. Drop column. Okay. Jadi tak? Sekejap tak jadi. Oh, okay. Macam ni. Author table customer drop column email. Asal COLUMN kan? Kenapa dia tak nak biru? Okay. Selalu tak boleh. Sekejap ya. Betul lah ni. Oh, okay. Medium salah yang ni. Kenapa tak boleh ya? Nanti you all cuba ya. Author table customers. Kita look at the customer table. Still ada email ni. Basically, madam nak delete column email tu. Author table customer. Kita ambil yang ni, copy je. And then kat sini, paste kat sini. And then run. Tak boleh. Dia dah macam. Sekejap. Tak boleh. Tak boleh drop ke? Okay. Kita drop kolom lain pula. Drop kolom phone. Tak boleh drop lah. Ni try and error Drop column. Number kan? Number kan? Sepatutnya boleh lah. Okay, tak apa. Nanti you all try. Okay. But that's the function lah. Okay. So, SQL Server. This is a different format if we use Oracle. Modify column. Sama je ni. Sama-sama. Oracle, Tenji and letter. This is the version of the Oracle. Alter table. Alter table, table name and modify. They use modify. Modify column. Okay. Tak apa. So, go to the slide. Okay, select. Okay. Now, insert into staff values ni after we create a table. Kita tengok boleh tak? Mana function insert? Tak bagi kita insert the values sekejap ni. Dia tak apa. Okay. So kalau if you want to insert a new data, we use a function of insert into which table name. Okay. So the third one is to analyze. We use a function of select. Okay. Go to W3 school. Function of select ke atas ni. Okay. SQL select statement. This is important lah. So the select statement is used to select data from a database. The data written is stored in a result table called the result set. Okay. So for example, we select this one, we select the attribute, meaning that we select the column. Select column 1, column 2, and then from which table. Okay. Okay, so column 1, column 2 are the field names of the table you want to select data from. If you want to select all the field available in the table, use the following syntax. So we use functions of select star from, meaning that we want to select all from that table. Okay, select star from table. Okay. Okay. So select column, for example, we select customer name, we want to select column. We want select customer name, we select city, okay. Okay, and then from customer, from what, which table? Okay, we try. Okay, now we want to select all data. Select star from which table? From customer. Okay, select star from customer. Boleh ke format ni? Okay. So this is the result lah. Customer ID, customer name. Sekejap. Buang ni. Sama tak? Sama. Okay. So select star from which table? Categories. All the data, all the attributes in the category, ada category ID, we have category name and descriptions will appear semua. Okay. So if you want to the student coming. Okay. Now we want to select, just now we select all from categories. Now we want to select category ID. Okay. If you want to select the column, we have to know lah what are the columns for that table kan. So we want to select category ID. What else? Category name. We have to follow exactly the wording. Category name from categories. So there will be a two lah. They will show us table that consists of these only two columns in the categories table for us. Okay. Select categories ID. This is the category ID and category name from categories table. Okay. So let's say shippers. Okay, shippers kan. Nampak when I click shippers product shippers table here, okay, on our right side ni. So all the informations about the shippers are here, and see the query language automatically is written like this. Select star from shippers, meaning that all. Select star from shippers table. So all data will appear. So if you want to select only one column, for example, select shipper ID, only one attribute. Okay, we have to write like this. Select shipper ID from shippers. Oh, nak tulis kat sini pun boleh, from shippers pun boleh. Okay, so only shipper ID will appear. See? Okay. Nak buat bawah, nak enter ke bawah pun boleh. Nak put no bracket like this pun boleh. Boleh. Okay. Or you put like here pun boleh. So this is a function of select. Select few columns, the selected columns from which table without any condition lah. Okay, so after this we try advanced selections. Okay, ada dia punya condition where, and, or, not, order by. We can ask the using SQL, we can ask the database to provide us in order the data that we want. Okay, the highest number ke, the lowest number, and even starting from which letter. Let's say we want to select a customer starting from letters of M. So all the customer with M letters in front will appear. Okay. Okay, so this is we call data manipulation. Okay, we go to the next one. Apa objective of SQL can be used by range of users, including the database administrators, management, application developers, and other types of end users. And ISO juga, International Standard Operation, now exists for SQL lah, making it both the formal and de facto standard language for relational databases. Okay, this is the history. Tak apa, nanti you baca. Kita nak tengok the technical part. Writing SQL commands. So we call this as a command lah. SQL command yang ni. Select ni from table. This is the command that we write in the SQL. Okay. Okay, SQL statement consists of reserved words and user-defined words. Reserved words tu macam if you want to create table, we have to use a create table function. If you want to delete table, we use a drop table function. We cannot write a delete table. So the system cannot recognize it. Okay. And then reserved words are a fixed part of SQL and must be spelled exactly as required and cannot be split across lines. If let's say we write a create table with small letters, so it can't be recognized lah macam ni Cuba kita cuba. Tulis je small letters. Ada juga ataupun we use a selecting. Boleh tak? Boleh selecting tak boleh. Select boleh lah small ke. Okay. From table. Boleh tak? Boleh that we use. Boleh. Ataupun kalau macam let's say ada nampak blue, the words become blue, I think it is usable lah. Okay. So user-defined words are made up by user and represent names of various database objects and such as relation, columns, views. Maksudnya this table name, customer ni, we are the one that define it. Okay, this one. All the names here, we define it. If it is appear like this customer, we cannot use like macam customer ke. Okay. Tak boleh It's different from the one that was defined at the beginning. Okay. So most components of an SQL statement are case insensitive except for literal character data. So more, if we already set this type of data like this, number only, we can only enter number. More readable with indentation and lineation, each clause should begin on a new line. Maksud yang ni kan enter, tak perlu nak write macam biasanya from tu is written below. Okay, or other preference is written below and below enter. We usually the command is not written panjang like a sentence like this continuously. No, okay, it is written just enter. Okay. So a start of a clause should line up with start of other clauses. If clauses have several parts, should each appear on a separate line and be indented under start of clause. So writing SQL commands use extended form of BNF notations. Upper letters represent reserved words. Upper letters like a create table, drop table, insert, select. Okay, reserved word is like this: where, and, or, not, order, insert into, select top, minimum, maximum, count, average, sums. Usually is written in big letters. Okay, uppercase. So lowercase letters represent user defined words, meaning that we define the words. Usually we use a lowercase. Okay, so this one stroke ni indicates a choice among alternative. Kalau ada A, B and C, this is represent alternate other choices. Okay, or lah, means that or. So curly braces ni indicate a required element. This is required lah. If in bracket there are many things, but we put a curly braces for certain things, meaning that it is required. It is a must. Okay. So square brackets indicates an optional element. Optional. Macam ni square bracket ni. Kalau curly braces, it is a must. Okay, square bracket is optional. Dot ni indicates optional repetitions, 0 or more. Okay, tak apa, kita tengok dia punya queries dulu baru kita tahu. So literals are constants used in SQL statement. Literals, all non literal ni constant used in SQL statement. All non-numeric literals must be enclosed in single quotes. Okay. All non-numeric literal must be enclosed. All numeric literals must not be enclosed in quotes. All numeric. Kalau ada number macam ni, tak boleh letak quotes. Okay, kalau macam ni baru boleh letak lah. All non-numeric literals. Literals ni apa? Macam apa, general words ke? Macam tu. Literals. Okay. So these are the oracle lah that use oracle. You can I think this is, you can download this lah. Kalau nak, if you want to run SQL in your laptop, you can try this. Madam ni. Ini how to install lah, free Oracle database for everyone, Oracle database. So you can download and execute this Oracle database, okay, to write the SQL statement. Download Oracle XE database. Okay. So madam dah ada tak? Madam dah ada ni. Okay. Madam try ni. Tengah proses. Tak apa, tapi yang if you want to do only the exercise, you can use the W3 School website lah for this exercise. But if you want to feel a real writing of SQL ni, you can download the Oracle. Okay. Okay, so this important part lah. So we want to select the database. Let's say the data already there in database, already key in, the table are there. So we want to do the analysis. This is where the analysis part is start. Okay, so we use a select statement. Okay, select. Select meaning that we want to select what to this thing. We do not want to select all, we want to select a few things. We want to select apa? Select this thing ke or select all? So if we want to select all column or attributes that for attribute for certain tables, again we use select star. Select all. This mean all. Select all. Okay. Okay, so from table what? Okay, we can use select all or this one or kan? Tanda stroke ni is tanda all. This square column used for optional kan? Kalau curly braces ni we use for a mask kan? So this is example lah, format je. Ni tak apa, just ignore this. Ni advanced level. So select all or select star from table name. Where the condition dia, or group by, or order by, or having. This is among the function that we can use based on the scenario that we want. Okay, so select statement from. Kalau select star from specify the table to be used. Which table? Okay. From maksudnya which table that we are referring to. Where? Where we use for filter. To filter the rows. Where? Where apa? Nak macam mana? So group by forms groups of rows with same column value. So we group that data. And having filter group subject to some conditions. Okay, and select specifies which columns are to appear. Again, select kan, kat mana, column yang mana. So it is referred to the columns or attribute lah. Order by, specify the order of the output. The order lah, the arrangement. Okay, select statement, order of the clauses cannot be changed. Order of the clauses cannot be changed. Only select and from are mandatory. Tak apa. Okay. This is example. Example 1. All columns and all row. Meaning that we want to have the entire table. Okay. We use a asterisk here lah. The star ni. Asterisk So select usually. Okay. This I think this is two ways to select all column and rows. Okay, the manual part is we do a select and we write down all the columns name, staff number, family name, last name, address, position, okay, the sex, DOB, salary and branch number. We list down all the attributes here and then from which table. Okay, but to cut in short, okay, we use a shortcut. We use the asterisk here, star. Okay, so select star or asterisk from which table? Table name. Senang je, tak payah nak tulis-tulis semua. No need to write all the attributes here. Columns name. Okay, when we write select star from table name, so it will appear lah all the columns and all the rows like we did kan before this we did kat dalam ni kan, dan W3 School select all ni products kan, so select all from table products, table name lah. So they will appear like this. Okay, no need to write select, product ID, product name, supplier name, category ID, unit and price. No need. Okay, but if you are macam rajin sangat, we can write all lah. But to cut it short, just using a asterisk. Tak boleh dah terbit. Tak apalah. Okay. Okay, so this is the basic. Okay, we done this. Now, okay, it will appear like this lah, all columns and rows. Staff number, family names, it will appear like this. Okay, second example, we want to specify. We want to have a specific columns, but all row. Okay, so the example of question, produce a list of salaries for all staff showing only staff number, first and last names and salary, meaning that we do not want to have all columns, only few columns that is required here. So we select first, not table first, but we select the attribute first. Select staff number, family name, last name and salary. Okay, not select all. From table name, from staff. Okay, staff is table name staff kan. So it will appear like this. So this we call a structured query. This is the query lah. Or commands. This is the query or commands, and this is the output table. We call output table. So only appear staff number, family name, last name and salary like this. Not all the whole table like this. Okay. Let's say if the question asks you to list down only these few columns, but you give this table, so it is wrong lah. You should give only this table, only the attribute that is required. So far okay class? Okay. Okay tak?
Okay, madam.
Okay.
Okay, madam.
Okay, very good. Okay. Use of this theme. List, for example, this is example of question. List the property numbers of all properties that have been viewed. Okay, this question referring to the database Dream Home database that we discussed last week. Dream Home database. Mana Dream Home database? List the properties number of all properties that have been viewed. So we go to the viewing table. Nanti madam tengok ada Dream Home database ni. Sekejap Mana Dream Home ni? Ini database dia. Example lah. Soalan dia. List the property numbers of all properties that have been viewed. Okay, we go to the, ni ada property for rent, ada staff, ada client, private owner, viewing. Dia nak all the properties, dia nak property number. Okay, nak property number ni yang mana dah view. Inilah view date kan. Maksudnya viewing date tu maksudnya dah view lah. Dia nak property number sahaja. Okay, so select property number because they only want to have to see the property numbers, not other information. So select property number from viewing. So from viewing is viewing table. So property number will appear like this. Okay. Semualah maksudnya 14. This one 14 until 36. Okay, 14 until 36. So this is distinct, use of distinct. Select the column name and from table. Okay. Okay, ada example. Select. Okay. Use distinct to eliminate duplicate. Okay, sometimes the data having duplicates data. For example, because the questions ask us to list the property number that have been viewed, right? Tengok kat sini property number ada redundant. PA14 ada 2. There are 2 PA14. Okay. They do not want to see this because nak property number kalau PA14 dah okay dah. So and then we have a PG4 ada 2 redundancy kat sini. Okay. Tak nak if there is redundancy. To eliminate the redundancy, we use a function of distinct. Select distinct. Maksudnya no redundant lah. Select distinct property number from viewing. So only 3 property basically. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not 6 property. But only 3 property that have been viewed. Okay. So we use a select distinct to eliminate the redundancy. Okay. Okay, this is the last example lah. So insyaAllah we will continue next class. Okay, last example. Okay, calculated fields. Question. Produce list of monthly salaries for all staff. Showing staff number. Showing tu maksudnya dia nak yang ni je. Showing staff number, first and last name and salary. So kita ambil yang showing ni dulu. Showing tu maksudnya the names of column, name of attributes tu. So select staff number, family name, last name, salary. Okay, salary. Tapi dia nak apa? Produce list of monthly salaries for all staff. Okay, so we refer to the database here. Go to the database. Tengok staff ni. Ada staff name, ada nampak salary kat sini kan. But this salary ada 30,000. So macam tak logik lah, this is monthly salary. Okay, so maybe this is a yearly salary. So this is yearly salary. So that is why here for the salary, we have to divide by 12 to get a monthly salary. Okay, tengok monthly salary. So salary divide by 12. From which table? From staff table. Okay, so when we write these commands, so this table will appear with staff number, family name, last name, and new column. So because in the database there is a column for salary, but there is yearly salary. So this is a monthly salary column, which the name is a column 4 because number 4 kan, 1, 2, 3, 4. After this we can rename this tab or this name of attribute lah column ni. Okay, so this is column 4 for monthly salary of the staff. Sometimes we need to calculate the figure, the data. Okay, it is based on the instructions here. Based on the instruction here. Okay, so far are you okay? You okay class?
Yes,
Okay,
madam.
madam.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. Okay, so after this, okay, we stop here. After this, I want you to get used with this apa nama dia, online tutorial lah. Okay, in W3 school. So you can have exercise here. This one select, nampak ni, select from and select distinct pun ada. Select distinct, we want to eliminate the duplication. Okay, so tak ada duplication nanti. You can do exercise here. Many exercise and example. Okay, they give ni example ni. Nak tulis apa ni command. Kalau if we do not use or familiar with it, so it is hard to remember the command kan, the format here. And when we write a wrong format, the data will not appear. Okay, so get used with it. InsyaAllah next class or next week next class we will continue further this the data manipulation topic. Okay. Okay, so any question? Any question? No question?
No, madam.
Okay, no question